I love getting these golf swings, so keep them coming to me. We got a pile. We're going to take a little look at Roger's golf swing here. And by the way, you want me to look at your golf swing? Got to make sure you do two things. You got to download the V1 Golf app, and then you got to sign me up as your coach, Michael Breed Golf. Do that, get the videos, put it in there, send it over, and hopefully we get a look at your golf swing. So let's see what Roger's got going on. Roger is good setup position here. I really like the lines. I like the way the body is set up. The arm hang is excellent. So beautiful, beautiful setup position. This is one of those model setup positions. I love it. Now, let's see what we got going on. So club swings back and drops out. He's dropping down. A lot of movement is going out to his toe here. Okay, so at the top of this golf swing, it's actually a pretty nice plane. Plane of the golf swing is really quite good here. I like this. The only thing that I see that I don't like is that in the swing, there's a lot of weight that's being chucked out to the toes. So in other words, when he's making his movement back, he's kind of leaning out onto the toes of his feet, and that creates a little bit of a problem. Check out, now this camera's going to move a little bit, but just check out the space that's between his rear and that white screen there. And what you're going to see is that when he starts to go down, his head drops down immediately. He gets into here. Now watch the white in that screen. See how it's opening up and opening up and opening up? So all of a sudden what you're seeing is him kind of drive out onto the toes all the way through, and that's going to create some problems as this swing goes on. One of them is he's not going to have a lot of rotation in the backswing. So in order to get the length in his swing, he breaks his elbow right here. The lead elbow breaks. It's not a long arm. And that's because he's reaching for some distance, and that's because the hip hasn't moved thoroughly or rotated the way we want it to rotate, the way he needs it to rotate. And so now as a result, when he starts coming down, now he starts standing up. Look at him kind of take the elevator up right here. So I'll show you what I mean. Let's take him back up to the top here. Here's the line of his face. Now watch as he starts to come through. He's going to work up and away from that. And that all of a sudden, look at how far away from that he is and way out on the toes. And by the way, look at how much space now is available in that white screen behind his rear. So here's what I need you to do, Roger. I need you to understand how to turn this club back properly. And one of the things that I would tell you to do, and I've done a video about this, so if you haven't had a chance to see that, you got to jump over to the YouTube channel and just pick it up there. You'll see this video that we have on the trail hip, okay, and how the trail hip is supposed to turn and what it looks like when it does that. But what we want to see happen, if we go down the line and I take a club shaft and put it against my thigh, when I turn my body back, that club should fall behind my heels. If I'm leaning out on my toes, it's actually going to slide down my leg, okay? What I want to have happen is I don't want this to slide. I want this to just drop behind me like that, and that'll happen when this hip, the right hip, the trail hip, rotates this way. So you can see how much space opens up in that brown wood behind me when I rotate like this. Look at how much room is back there. And that's one of the things that you've got to do, Roger. And when you start to do that, now this little bent lead arm that you've got going on, you won't need to do that to create length in the swing. You can just rotate, and your body will have enough room to be able to move fully, and all of a sudden the club will get nice and long back here. You'll have some real length to the swing. So you get up here like this, you just rotate like that, and then swing through, okay? And I can't tell you how important it is, particularly when you might have some limited flexibility. And I'm not saying that you do, but I'm just saying it looks like you might have limited flexibility. And for all of you that have limited flexibility, this trail hip, the right hip, for the right-handed golfer, has got to spin. It's got to rotate. You got to feel like you're almost making a right-hand turn in a car. So you feel that 3 o'clock position now goes to 6 o'clock. That's what happens with your hand when you make a right-hand turn, you know, like a 90-degree turn. Well, that's what you want to feel. You want to feel this right hip, trail hip moving back like that. That's going to give you some length. It'll give you some speed. And then you won't get your weight out onto the toes, because now you're going to get some heel weight on your trail foot. And when you're there, now all of a sudden you can re-rotate back through, and now all of a sudden things get a little bit more conventional, but more than that, they get faster, they get longer, you'll hit the ball a lot farther, okay? So pay attention to that one, and good luck with your motion. Now, let's go over to, let's go check out what Oliver's got going on. So Oliver, setup position here, really quite nice. I love the bend in the knees. That's excellent. The shaft of the golf club is entering the body right around the belt line, which is wonderful. I love the position of the back. So excellent, excellent address position. Now this club starts to work back, and there's no forearm rotation right here whatsoever. None. So what's happening is that the arms are now out racing the body, and they're tracking this way, but the body isn't turning, and you're not getting any forearm rotation. If you're going to turn the body and not rotate the forearms here early, I'm okay with that. But if you're going to get no turn and no forearm rotation, it's going to lead to a problem. And here's the problem that's going to end up happening. He takes his club up to the top, not a lot of rotation out of the body, and all of a sudden it's a very late turn, but watch how the club keeps going and going and going. And then what's eventually going to happen is his grip is going to come off. So you can see right there, and I'll blow this up for you so you can see this, right in this spot, right about here, you can see a little light through there. That's the screen. That's his hand coming off that grip. And that's because his body can't function the way that he's asked it to function. And so now when that starts to happen, now he's got to put that hand back on again. Starts to stand up, which is a very common trait. We've seen that both in what Roger's doing and now in what Oliver's doing. And what happens with Oliver is that as he comes through here, his hands are very, very high. Here's the shaft of the golf club at impact. Look at where the shaft of the golf club is at address. So he moves the shaft of the golf club very, very high up into the air with a pretty good rotation. I mean, I like that rotation through the shot. That's excellent. But the handle is getting tall. Like with most people, what we'll see is, check this out. So this is the level that his chin is at right here at address. When he gets into impact, the level of his chin is pretty much the same. He hasn't really stood up a tremendous amount. He's backed away from it a little bit. Right? There's his forehead right there. So he's backed away from it a little bit, but it's not a lot. But man, that's a lot of handle lift through the strike there. And so what he's doing is he's trying to figure out how to make all this work because of all the little mistakes that have taken place in the backswing. So one, and really the primary thing that I want you to do is this. I want you to feel like when you're taking the club back, I want you to feel like you're going to let your lead hand rotate over your trail hand. So you're going to go like that. So the club goes back. You're going to get in that position, and your chest is going to move at the same time. And then you get into that position, and now your trail hand's going to be more under the club, and when your body stops, you're going to stop the movement of the club. So it's going to rotate, and then like that. And then from there, I want you to just really keep that same rotation through the strike. It will clean itself up a little bit. It's something that you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about now backing out of it because you won't have to have that handle rising because you won't be putting your hands back on the club or recovering the club because the hand's going to be on and the forearm's going to be rotated. So when the forearm's rotated, now all of a sudden you can lag that club a little bit more. You'll hit it a lot more solidly. And of course, you're going to shoot lower scores. I know it. I know. I make that promise all the time, but I'm telling you, you got to work on it, and you will do that. Quick things, by the way. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel here. We love helping you improve your game. And make sure that you get that V1 Golf app. So download that V1 Golf app. Get me as your golf coach, Michael Breed Golf, and then get those videos to me, and I can help you like I've done over here with Oliver and with Roger. Make sure that you get those videos to me, and each and every week what we're doing is we're trying to pick out a couple swings, see if we can help some people out, and maybe you're one of those lucky people. To improve all parts of your game, subscribe to my channel and click the link below.